The storm desk. Read the storm. Book the roofs. It's 7 in the morning after a hailstorm. The phone is ringing. Canvassers are pulling out. And every representative wants to fire off whatever message feels urgent. That's the exact moment a roofer breaks a law without meaning to, overpromises on insurance, and burns a past customer's trust. By the end of this, you'll know how to build a 90-day post-storm sequence that runs itself, how to trigger it, how to phase it, and how to keep it legal, not a louder campaign. An operations runbook with messaging attached, so the boring parts run on rails and your people handle the judgment. Start with the trigger, because the wrong one poisons all 90 days. Don't open the campaign because somebody saw hail on social media or a neighbor said it was a big one. Start with a record, not a rumor. A severe thunderstorm, by National Weather Service definition, drops hail 1 inch across, about a quarter, or gusts of 58 miles an hour or more. After the fact, verify against the dated storm reports from the National Centers for Environmental Information and the Storm Prediction Center. Save the report points and warning text in one storm record that anchors the whole 90 days. Here's the move most owners skip. The first automation off that record fires inward, not outward. Before a single homeowner gets a message, notify your managers, estimators, and production leads. Confirm who answers calls, who schedules, who reviews photos, who approves emergency dry-in, the temporary cover that keeps a roof watertight, and name the one person who can pause marketing if the team hits capacity. A campaign with no stop button is not ready to launch. Now aim it, because not every house under a hail core needs a knock. A roof replaced 18 months ago took the same hail as the 22-year-old roof 3 doors down. Only one is plausibly worn out. Asphalt shingles run a wide band. A basic 3-tab, the flat overlapping kind, can be near the end at 15 to 18 years, while a quality architectural shingle, the thicker layered kind, can run 25 to 30. So you target where age and impact line up, and skip the brand new roofs. Blasting a new roof just dilutes your footprint. Before anyone gets a message, segment by permission. Sort contacts by consent. Do you have email permission, text permission, or neither? By relationship, past customer, prior estimate, inbound lead, or cold. By opt-out status, and by whether they sit inside the verified footprint. Here's the hard line. A skip traced phone number off a storm map is not consent. Skip tracing means buying a number tied to an address. If a record doesn't show permission for text or automated calling, those channels stay dark. The permission behind the lead list is the real asset. Now shape the 90 days around what a homeowner needs, not your sales calendar. A bad sequence sends schedule your free inspection now every 4 days until everyone unsubscribes. A good one decays. Phase 1 is days 1 to 3. Calm triage. 1 email, maybe a postcard, a clear page on your own site. You explain how to spot a leak from inside, how to look from the ground, no ladders, and how to request an inspection. You do not tell them they have damage. You do not invent a deadline. The honest line, severe weather was reported in your area on this date. Here's how to request a look. Phases 2 through 4 follow the homeowner forward. Days 4 to 14. Follow up only with people who raised a hand, form fills, missed calls, openers. Days 15 to 45. Nurture the undecided and reach into your old book. Days 46 to 90. The pace slows to seasonal maintenance and closeout. Watch the cadence decay. Early on, 1 touch every 3 to 5 days, max. By the back half, every 10 to 14. The rule, cadence should fall over 90 days, never stay flat. Here's the part that ends careers if you get it wrong. Write your channel rules before you write a single template, because email, text, and calls each live under different federal law. Email runs on the FTC's canned spam rules, a truthful subject line, a real physical address, and a working opt-out you honor within 10 business days. Text and automated calls run on the TCPA, enforced by the FCC, and that's the strict one. Marketing texts and robocalls generally need prior express written consent before you send. A lead list, a storm map, a bot number, none of that is consent. And the TCPA moved recently, so wire this in. As of April 11, 2025, a consumer can revoke consent through any reasonable means. You cannot force them into one exclusive method. The FCC named replies like stop, cancel, and unsubscribe as reasonable. Once they revoke, you stop the marketing calls and texts no later than 10 business days. So your system has to catch a please stop in a text reply, an email, or a phone call, not only a click on your link. Route everyone into the same suppression. It's the law, and it's just clean. Now the insurance line. And it is not subtle. Your message documents conditions and offers an estimate. The homeowner files the claim. The insurer decides coverage. So your copy never says you have hail damage before anyone climbs, and never promises insurance will cover this. You don't handle, negotiate, or maximize the claim. That's unlicensed public adjusting in many states. In June 2024, the Texas Supreme Court's Stonewater ruling held that a roofer billing itself as an insurance specialist couldn't dodge the public adjuster licensing law, and never imply you'll cover the deductible. That's the homeowners to pay. Waiving it is fraud in many states. Routing is where automation quietly fails. The moment everything is flagged urgent, nothing is. So route each lead by safety, leak status, relationship, and capacity. An active leak goes to a service coordinator the same day, not into a generic nurture flow. And let capacity shape the message. If inspectors are booked 5 days out, the sequence must not promise same day. A slower, honest message beats a promise the branch can't keep. Then run it like an operations room. For the first 7 days, treat it like an incident response. One person watches inbound, one watches capacity, one reviews opt-outs and complaints, one approves any template change. Set explicit daily stop rules. Pause outbound if the backlog blows past its limit, if emergency capacity is full, if opt-outs spike, or if production says sales is overpromising dates. Then once a week, leadership reads the numbers, booked inspections, first response time, opt-outs, complaints, bounce rate, tech stops, backlog versus capacity. The rule: if opt-outs or complaints rise, cut frequency and fix the message driving it. Suppression is as important as your lead list, and most owners ignore it. Flip that. Remove anyone who opted out, asked to be left alone, fell outside the area, already booked, or has an open dispute. Can spam makes you honor email opt-outs within 10 business days. The TCPA, text and call revocation within 10 too. Wire both as automatic suppression, unsubscribes, hard bounces, stop replies, close jobs. Then add a manual override so a manager can stop messages without deleting the record. Nobody should have to delete a contact to make it stop. Here's where RoofPredict fits, and where it doesn't. It gives a campaign its targeting brain. It pairs an estimated roof age range with storm physics modeled per individual home, scoring which roofs in the footprint are old enough and were plausibly hit, so your Phase 1 list starts sharp instead of blasting the whole zip. It's also how you mine your old book for past customers whose roofs just aged into this storm. What it does not do: inspect the roof, diagnose damage, or decide coverage. Roof age is a planning range, not an exact date. And it does not own consent or suppression. That stays in your CRM. Close the loop. A storm sequence done right does two things at once. It captures the demand a real storm creates, and it protects the trust that outlasts the storm. Trigger off a verified record, never a rumor. Fire the internal alert before the first homeowner message. Aim it at the roofs that are actually due. Write channel rules before templates, and honor every stop. Document conditions. Let the insurer decide coverage. Route by capacity. Review every week. Archive at day 90. Build it before the season. Gate it with consent and capacity, and it runs itself. That's the whole job.